Oh my god, folks, it is me, Chanel O'Connor, and prepare to brace because I'm here again with episode 10. I am here to tell you the ins, the outs, the ups, the downs, the buts, the don'ts, the yes, the no's, the slays, the days, the everything in between. Episode 10 is the finale. It's the final moment you get to see Chanel O'Connor on your TV screens, apart from Most Haunted Scotland edition. So, without further ado, let's get into talking about all things finale, all things behind the scenes, all things about this finale look, and all things Drag Race UK Season 6. Because this will be the last time. Well, it's not the last time I'll talk about it, but it's the last time we'll talk about this because it's the last episode. So, wah, big tears.
A few moments later.
Well, folks, I'd say prepare to brace, but it's more like prepare to catch up. We just had a little technical error, and what happened was Niall thought it was a great idea to throw the cat from the bed. Then what happened was it hit the camera. And when I say throw, it was an over the arm, like...
It was not. It was more, the cat jumped on top of the laptop. I pushed her off the laptop. She then ran, because she's got the zoomies.
Zoomies.
Shut up.
Afraid.
People are thinking I'm being like that. She ran into the chair, the camera fell off, and then it wiped the last 30 minutes.
We're just gonna see what happens.
We're just gonna
start again.
Finale.
Happy finale, everyone! Oh my god, we have so much to talk about. We have so much to get into, and obviously, I'm like halfway done. Like, girls, I have 20 minutes left to my makeup. Like, how am I gonna make this up? I don't. I literally have a long time. I have a long time to get into this. But what I want to talk about is basically, let's talk about finale. Let's talk about me during the finale. Let's talk about the untucked. Let's talk about the untucked that was not shown. Crazy. Anyway, so the first thing I want to say and I want to talk about is obviously the top 4. Spoiler alert! Kyron wins. When we walked into that workroom, there was so many of us that you could have put in that top 4 variety. There was people who said I could have been in the top 4. There's people who said Lil could have been in the top 4. You know, it really could have been anybody's game. And I will be honest, because we're here for honesty, and the girls know this. I literally didn't expect to see Marmalade or Relisa in that top 4.
Are you on drugs? Are you f***ing on drugs?
And that was the day one. But I'll tell you this right now. Those girls worked their f***ing socks off. And where they got to was literally phenomenal. Now, Miss Relisa, sometimes it's the silent but deadly ones you want to watch out for. I've shot myself multiple times because of a silent but deadly one. With Miss Relisa, she put her absolute work in, and she may have sent me home, but I'll tell you this, my God, she can give it. She had so much power, so much talent, so much sex appeal, folks. That's the most important thing we're here for. Genuinely, such a pure, kind soul. And let's be real, folks. She wasn't gonna win. There might be a different reality where maybe she had more badges and things like that, but we'll get into that because listen, Miss Marmalade had quite a lot to say. My Zen sister. Marmalade is someone who I was so proud of the whole season. She literally is the look queen of season 6. She's the look queen of Drag Race UK. She has literally destroyed that runway. And I will tell you this, so we're at the finale party, not the actual finale. And talking about badges, there was a question put towards Marmalade talking about badges, and she actually raised a point, I believe, that a lot of us definitely feel the same way. She said that she believes that the badges should have been given out, more of them should have been given out, folks. I don't think it was fair that we kind of had a top 4 that had 1 badge each to other people, then a 3 badger, then a 4 badger. That makes the front runners so obvious. Coming into the finale, I think it would be a better scope and a better range of like dynamics of who could get it if there was more badges available and there was more badges given out. Like, think about it, folks. What if they gave all of Team Zen a badge? What if they gave the girl group who should have won a badge, Dracula's 12, a badges? I honestly think Chara should have got Snatch Game. Maybe it was a win for Marmalade for the Rusical, you know, and then that, you never know how the season would have aired out, and then if Saki didn't hurt her knee, like there's so many what ifs. I'm just very proud of those two. I think they were given an impossible task. The very clear front runners and the very obvious people are Kyron and Lavoie. We have Miss Lavoie, you know, she is a f***ing powerhouse. I said it when the bitch walked in, I went, girls were fucked.
Girls were fucked.
Yeah.
She is so talented and so great on a mic and so great when she's talking. And it was really, really fun to get to know her a bit more. She's an individual that I wish all the best for. I'm sure this is going to absolutely solidify her career more. But controversially, I'm going to say this. I was Team Kyron.
Oh.
But I'll say this. Literally, she lost. The next day, she met Donatella Versace and Elton John at the Devil Wears Prada finale show. I think it's not the last time we'll see of Lavoie. I even say this. I think Lavoie, if Ru ever goes, Lavoie should be one of the hosts. Don't think she should judge the runways, but I think she should be one of the hosts. That takes us on, folks, to the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6. Fireworks, explosions, pyrotechnics. Oh my god, my head explodes. Divas, I am so proud of Miss Kyron. You know, she was a member of Dracula's Child. And I don't want to say I carried her through that, but definitely there was definite moments that...
Delusion. Convince yourself.
I don't think it's delusion. I think it's empowerment. I don't believe in gravity and I don't believe in a flat earth, but I do believe in Kyron. And that was one thing.
I believe in gravity.
I think it's a construct. Tear it apart.
The government want to keep you down. Literally.
To me, she is our leader supreme. She is our queen supreme. And she is the icon that we must bow to. Yes, you can do it from a 2-meter distance so you don't have to smell her. But with Miss Kyron, I knew she was going to get it. She had such confidence. She had such belief in herself. And she was going to go far for sure. What she brought to the competition was something that we had never seen before. There was outfits that, to me, were truly hideous. But to you people, you really liked it. Props to you, mama. I think she is someone who's going to represent UK drag and take it to that next level. I'm very, very proud of her. We've talked about our top 4s. I think it's time to talk about Chanel. It's my turn. It's my turn to talk about me. Because, baby, I was in the finale. And also, I was paid the exact same as everyone else that day to be there. So whether you're eliminated or not, girl, if you get there, you get there. I'm going to finish off this foundation. I'm going to carve out this bottom brow. And we're going to get into talking about me in the finale. Okay, folks, I am back. We're going to do some powdering. We're going to do some setting. But also, we're going to do some bitching. So, baby, let's get into this. I'm just adding a bit of contour. Contour! Get that contour! So let's talk about this. Let's talk about the grand return of Chanel O'Connor. Chanel O'Contour! So while we were getting ready, they played this. They were like, okay, girls, this is what we're working with. And at that point, I think it was like the vocals weren't done. Oh, shut up, Lavoie. You get the point. That's the song. The crack was, in the morning, the girls went and I think did like a talk through with Michelle. They did something, or they were doing a talk through or something like that. We literally arrived on set ready to see them. For some girls, you know, Saki, they hadn't seen these girls in a long time. I kind of was more of a like, morning. Yep. It's been 3 weeks. Girl, I saw these 4 days ago. It's fine. And even we'd seen them the day, like 2 days before for the fucking roast. So it's the vibes that like, girl, we know what we're all up to. We know what's going on. Let's keep this fresh and let's keep this going. Let's keep it pushing. In we go. Let's start rehearsals. And originally we rehearsed alone. You know, the top 4 weren't there. We got our moves. We did our thing. And then when it came to the final to kind of put it all together, they were like, okay, for spacing wise, we need the top 4 here. So we did get to see them before it all. It's good to see them. It was nice to have that just that little bit of time before we get into the big finale. You know, everyone was very excited. We do the rehearsal and this was a fun little bit. That day, sometimes Zahira would wear a boy wig. And this was the time that Zahira wore this Justin Bieber looking boy hair. It's hilarious. I love them so much. They're flawless, of course. But this time, I went, Zahira, can I snatch your wig off for this one? Because this was the one that we did with the cameras. So they did one that was a dress rehearsal for the cameras, so the cameras knew what shots to get in X, Y, and Z. So for this one, I literally was like, let's snatch the wig off. We literally get to the end of the runway, I go, whoosh, snatch it off her fucking scalp. And the whole room is like in buckets. They're like, oh my God. Because this is the end of the day. We're there to have fun. And I think like having those little fun moments between takes is completely appropriate. The point of the story is Zahira is not bald. She has a lovely head of hair. And even if she was bald, I don't think anyone would know because her lace is flawless. Thank you. Speaking of lace. I think it's an appropriate time to maybe talk about my own lace for a minute. I'm going to do a bit of powdering, let's do a bit of setting, and let's talk about how horrible you all were about my precious boy hair showing. Okie doke, folks, we've done a bit of powdering and we're back because, listen, I am an individual who will take criticism as well as I can. I want to kind of come clean with this because I think I don't want to pass blame. I want to take as much responsibility as I can for something, but I also want to say this. I came to Drag Race with these wigs. There's nothing that could be changed, altered, or fixed about them apart from myself. And for finale, I was so proud of this look, and it's so frustrating that people just want to kind of continuously trying to like point things out. I'm well aware. I don't need you to f***ing tell me. The wigs were done by a very close friend of mine. I care for them a lot. They did such a fantastic job with them. But it was just that part, you know? The length from here to here was short. That's it. There's nothing that can be done. Lace can't be added. Things can't be glued down. It's a resin set wig, so it's set in that shape. And these wigs are so precious to me. I adore them so much. And I'm gonna wear them. I remember putting on the finale wig and I literally told Saki, I went, Saki, shave the back of my fucking head. Because she was like, there's just a wee bit hanging out. And I went, here's my one blade, go for it. And I remember coming back from Drag Race and going for a haircut and the hairdresser being like, what happened to you? And having to like...
I remember you came back and you were like bald up.
Oh, I was bald up to here.
It was crazy.
Up to here. So if people are going, the back of your hair still showing, it's a shadow. And also, go f*** yourself.
Oh, honey. Girl, okay. Security.
That's not my problem. That's your problem. You shouldn't be looking at the back of my head. You should be looking at me, baby.
Well, you're always looking at the back of my head because I'm walking away.
For the first time ever, a wig has never fit me. You know, every other wig I've gotten from various people...
Typical that you go on Drag Race.
But it is typical I go on f***ing Drag Race and it doesn't fit me. So it's frustrating. There's nothing I can do. Everyone is just obsessed with me and it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I'm just living my life. And you people are obsessed with me. And guess what? Thank you. So Chara recently said this. At the time of filming, she hated my f***ing guts. She literally despised me. And she hated my outfit at that moment. So sometimes you remember things from the show and then you see it and it's either less bad than you actually think it is or it's worse than you think it is. There's sometimes your perception changes and how you tell stories change. Point of the story is, Chara hated my runway. She remembered in her head that she hated it. She remembered it was ugly. She was like, yuck, 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 ooh. And then when she actually saw it on the grand premiere night, on the grand finale night, she was like, oh my god, Chanel is literally one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen you in. But anyway, point of the story is, finale was crazy. And you know, I did see a little Reddit post. Well, I wasn't privy to it, but the information was brought to me in a dossier report of the weekly run-ups of Who Hates Me. So I flicked through it, you know, Marmalade, huge list, Chara, ignore, through that Reddit, ooh. People were like, we don't understand the sort of cup breast thing, how it's the kind of matching skin tone. My whole reference was Sean Galliano for Dior. It was one of my favourite runways he's ever done. It was something that I could see Chanel in. But the reference I wanted was Sean Galliano for Dior. So do you know who got that? Turned the corner, Lil went, this is Sean Galliano. And I went, yep. Who got it? Marmalade got it. Team Zen get it, because Team Zen, we read fucking books. And I read books, they're mostly pop-up, and
You mostly have crayons.
They mostly have a crayon colouring section and a scratch and sniff.
And a little crossword puzzle.
And a little crossword puzzle, but usually it's only 4 words. Point of the story is, folks, go f*** yourself. No. I try and contain my anger because clearly some of you are so dumb. Clearly some of you are literally Neanderthal type of individuals running around smashing things with rocks because you do not understand fashion references. And listen, it's not your fault. It's your mum and dad's fault. It's not your fault. It's clearly the orphanage that you came from because that's... No, I can't say that.
You need to actually take it down a notch. I know you're like the villain, but my god.
Clearly, folks, it's not your fault if you don't understand references. It's just because you were raised in a barn and you clearly... Chanel for Miss Congeniality. Also, folks, just to come back to it, this is kind of my gold finale makeup. Crackers. The finale gown's fucking enormous. And it's so big that it will not fit in this square. So I'm doing my finale dance look. But reality was, it's the same makeup. We barely had any time to change. So I literally added more blush. Oh, how revolutionary. Chanel. More blush, more blush. The one I want to tell you about is the reunion. Untucked, whatever you'd like to call it that. We were sat in these gorgeous big finale things for an hour and a half. And at this point, I couldn't breathe. I was lying on the floor, being hand-fed Haribos to keep my morale up. I was so over it. So we get to the girls coming in. We're all sitting there, really chummy. You know, it's really nice. It felt like the first day. It was really nice to be back in that kind of space again. And seeing everyone, I was so excited. It's all hunky-dory. It's all fine and dandy until Saki goes, so what have I missed?
So, ladies, I was the first to go. So fill me in. What's the tea? What's been happening?
If only it was her jaw that was broken. And she shut the f*** up. Marmalade and me had that moment. I don't know what happened, but everyone suddenly thought, well, I'm going to talk about my thing with Chanel. And I'm going to talk about how I didn't like this. And I'm going to talk about how I didn't like this. And I will tell you this, 6 people came for me. It was one of the most because obviously it's being filmed. It's finale day. It's meant to be the happiest day out of this entire experience. And all the girls know this, and it's one of those things that everyone apologizes for it, and it's something you guys will never see. I was so scared that everyone would see this, but people were coming for me being like, you said this about my look, you said this, you said this, you said that, and it's like, divas, are we not in a fucking drag competition? And also, half the shit everyone else has been saying has just been as bad as me, but I feel like there's this weird sort of target on my back that it's always me who gets the shtick for it. That was a moment for me where I literally was just forward facing, taking everything on the chin. I remember really, really in those moments being like, I don't want to be here. They were like, okay, Chanel, can you sum up and can you do a final cheers? So I remember being like, well, girls, some of you have your opinions and they're very interesting and I will take them on board. And, just trying my best to give the best Chanel answer I could. And saying, of course, I apologise if I've upset you. Boo-hoo-hoo. But not really. I'm just trying to get through this. And then at the end, I do this well, cheers to season 6. So the great thing is, you see that. Here's a big toast and a big cheers to season 6.
Yeah!
Season 6. And I remember the cameras cut and I burst into tears. It had just become too much for me. And I remember literally grabbing me and being like, I am so sorry. Marmalade came up to me, people, Lil ran over, and I remember just I cried my lashes off. I had to reset, and I literally had to be put in a different room with Lil. And I think this is the whole thing of it is, you can have these down moments, you can have these moments that are sad, but you should look at what you do and what I have done that is amazing. To even get to the show is fucking phenomenal, and to even be there is such a treat. And that's one thing I do now. I don't look at those sad moments. I don't look at those difficult moments. I look at all of the amazing moments I've had. And I'm so grateful for this experience. And that was just a moment that it was a little dark moment. And I remember definitely putting on the lashes, get myself together. And I remember them coming in and saying, we need Chanel now. And I turned and went, you will give me 5 minutes. And they went, Chanel needs 5 minutes. Because they knew! There was a fucking nuclear bomb underneath my skirt. I was like, do you want to go on? Or do you want the place to go up? At the end of the day, folks, I love these girls so much. And the big thing I didn't want is you to see all of the bickering. You guys saw such a positive end, such a beautiful little round off to the whole experience, and that's the way it should have been, but that's the way that I will now remember it, because I can watch that and I can see that, and that was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful way for me to end season 6. So crazy, but divas, I'm going to do my eyes and I'm going to tell you some other little fun behind the scenes things about this look. So let's get into it. Also, folks, No, I was not wearing a breastplate. There's a fabulous little podcast called The Cup of Reality. Shout out to them. And it's so funny. One of them was so convinced I was wearing a breastplate when in fact I'm just morbidly obese.
The one thing I will kind of nitpick here is, so she does have her breastplate and she hides it well with the jewels around the neck, but she gives up at one point. Like, it's like once she gets to the ear, she gave up. She's like, here, you can see the breastplate line after this point.
The story goes, I posted on Twitter because I think it's fucking hilarious. I think it's hilarious that, like, you know, someone has their opinion of me and they think I'm wearing a fucking breastplate and I have to turn around and go, no, it's actually a neck roll, darling. Like, I'm so sorry. But it just shows you the power of the internet. So many people jumped on and was like, I fucking hate this little guy. Who the fuck is he to tell me? And listen, I can be an asshole. I'm allowed to be an asshole. I'm allowed to be upset. But I wasn't upset at all at those kind of comments. Because listen, I have been called everything under the sun. Go show your love and support to Dearest Little David and the Cup of Reality podcast. And all of the other podcasts, you know, this is the first time I've not talked about my homosexual opinion for a hot minute. Love and adore those girls. But you know what happened? See, when I left, I stopped watching it.
You good guy.
So I'll watch their finale and hopefully they talk about me in the finale because it's been about bloody time. Because listen, I don't know if you know about these girls that do the homosexual opinion in my
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it before. Is this a camera on? Is there film in this camera? I don't know what's going on. Moving pictures. Technicolor. What are you talking about? Ruby slippers.
We're not in
Kansas anymore. Absolutely that part. The point of the story is, I'm going to keep going on with the side because I literally have to be out here in 20 minutes. So let's get into this.
2 hours later.
I actually should have left 10 minutes ago. But we're just getting on with it. Point of the story is, I'm going to really quickly talk through the outfit. You know, this was a love letter to my love for designers. And this was this moment where I kind of was so inspired to go, right, what is something so grand and ridiculous? And I'm actually really grateful I got eliminated because if I didn't get eliminated, this outfit wouldn't have been to that scale and it wouldn't have been that beautiful. You know, it was maybe like 60% done, but being eliminated by Releasa allowed me to come back, really, really, really get to it and finish this beautiful outfit so that then I could wear it on this beautiful runway and it could just be this moment. I remember the dress was so big that I had to get Ellie Diamond, shout out. She'd hold the dress and I would be sewing it round because it was so heavy that I couldn't do it by myself. It was a labor of love and I'm so grateful for everything. It was just a beautiful, beautiful moment to tie off absolutely everything on the show. And I'm so grateful to be able to wear it. I'm so grateful I was able to be a part of this season. And it was just such a beautiful, beautiful end. And even getting to do this has been beautiful. I've got a lot to say, and we've not got all the time in the world, but I am grateful. So thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for being here. And the real crack of the matter is, I will be coming back with YouTube. In which format that is, I'm not too sure. But for definite sure, Mama needs some time off in December. Because we've got DragCon, which I am so excited for. That is the next big hurdle in my big calendar to kind of get over and get on with and have fun with. So if you're in the UK and you're coming along to DragCon, absolutely please come and say hello. Come and show me the love. Come to my booth. Celebrate Chanel O'Connor. And come and tell me your favourite YouTube video. Crack is, I'm basically done. I'm adding a bit of highlighter and I'm going to do a lip. And listen, you've seen this all before. You know what the crack is. I need to get going because we need to get a show to go to. So without further ado, let's get into this look. So folks, it is not my finale look, but it's my gold dance finale. And listen, if you want to see my finale look, I think there's a little video here. So let's have a look at it now. thank you so much for watching along. I have been Chanel O'Connor, and that is the finale done. That was 10 episodes. That was it. We're over and done with. I never have to wear this dress again, and that is it. I can burn this, or I can give it to Amanda Holden, whoever wants it first. I do beg. But thank you so much for your love and support. I've had such a fabulous ride. It's been so silly, so stupid, and I'm so proud of everything I've done. And if you disagree, f*** you and your mother. Thank you so much. See you soon. No more Chanel. This is it. I'm killing myself.
Fucking hell.
After this, you can call me Chantel. I'm changing my life, changing my career. I'm going to work in a chippy van.
A chippy van?
A chippy van. And it's going to be fabulous. And guess what we'll sell?
Chippy.
Chips. The set. Don't. We don't want to see the studio.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh gosh. Oh dear. Well, thank you so much everyone for enjoying Chanel's videos for the last 10 weeks. I'm going to enjoy this break, as is Chanel.
And we will see you back here in the new year for a fabulous new affair of whatever that will be. And it probably will be a load of me just talking shit, which I love to do. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining me on this fabulous journey. God, it's had some ups, it's had some downs, it's had some ins, it's had some outs. But all through and through, I've been a so thank you.